Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 163, Perpetual Backlog. I'm your host, Aqua, and joining me, like always, is Leek
Hello.
and Dole.
Hey, good to be back.
Is it good to be back?
Not particularly with the news that we have, but I'll say it.
Is it amazing to be back? Dole, we could be playing 7 Remake right now, or 7 Rebirth.
That is absolutely true. I haven't had a chance to touch it all day today. So
If I was able to play it, I'm sure I'd say the same thing, mate.
Soon-ish, hopefully.
I hope so.
Man, that's a video game. That's a whole ass video game.
I'm like, there's frankly too much in that video game.
I'm 45 hours into this game, but my last percentage I saw for like storyline progress, 57%.
Yeah, I'm 35 hours at 47. So
yeah, a 1% an hour is what apparently separates us. Oh man, I am. Where am I at? Technically, I guess I'm technically post Gold Saucer. But that just means I need to go back to the Gold Saucer and do more stuff. God. I don't even know what to say about this game. This game is 7 Remake, but imagine if like 7 Remake was like 10 times better. I don't know what to say. Like it's literally like 7. It is way better than 7 Remake.
This game is huge. Like the story's grand, right? It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you expect. And then there's all the other shit you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
This game is so dense. I don't know how it manages to be. This game, frankly, and I've said it before, I'm getting old. This game's too dense. There is too much to do.
I don't understand how this game is on Unreal 4.
Yeah. So I'm curious because you're saying this.
Yeah.
So originally, the 7 on the PS1 was 3 discs. First was the ending at a certain point. The second disc ended before all the endgame
at
stuff.
Another certain point.
At another certain point, and then then endgame stuff, right? So this time the cutoff points was Midgar. Mm-hmm. Where do you think this one will end?
We already know where this one ends.
No,
this ends at disc 1.
Okay.
They've already told us where the story goes.
The cutoff point
in this game.
Yeah. All right. And then, so is there still 3 parts?
Yeah, the next game will be the last one.
Interesting. Okay.
Got it.
Like genuinely, the biggest thing for me is just how big the first game was.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was needlessly large. And don't get me wrong, I don't say needlessly to be like they just put too much. No, it was just fucking Midgar was like an hour of the first game suddenly blown up to
30.
a 40 to 100 hour experience. And they've shoved so much in this game. Like this in any other world, this is a game that is broken down into 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I won't lie, I got up to where I am, which is about the 50% mark, thinking I'm usually done by now. And then Dan asked, "Hey, where are you at?" Like, I don't know. The PS5 will tell you. I'm not even 50%. Okay, interesting.
So how far up Mount Corel are you?
I'm sorry?
How far up Mount Corel are you?
I am into the mines.
Okay.
I've had a change of party twice.
So you obviously seen the couple of scenes that definitely were not in the original.
They weren't there before. They were not.
the one thing in the reactor wasn't there when we got there first time.
No, it was not.
And then the
Though
cutscene you
don't
get
me
after
wrong.
it.
Like, and it's weird because none of this feels forced. Like, it's all contextualized by other cutscenes in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like getting to the reactor, it's like, oh shit, okay, cool. Looking around, having that happen, and going, oh shit, cool. Leaving there, meeting the next boss fight, going, oh, okay, don't remember this either. And then the cutscene that follows, going like this, yes, good.
Oh, are you talking about the
Or was that
Shinra
just
mech?
before? No, that
The
was
Shinra
just
mech
before.
fight. Yeah, the Shinra
Yeah.
mech fight. That was in the original.
Was it? I genuinely don't remember.
I actually specifically remember that fight in the original.
Like, for whatever reason, I don't remember much of Corel. I essentially remember, I remember running on the bridges, and I remember chatting with Barrett, about, tragic backstory stuff.
Yeah.
Everything else from the game, I don't really remember much of it because it kind of feels like we go to Corel, and then Corel's just an opportunity for us to go to the Gold Saucer. And like nothing really matters. And then everything that's important, even to Corel, happens at below the Gold Saucer. But
yeah.
So yeah, I have no memory.
You haven't even you haven't even made it to the Gold Saucer, right?
No. I'm still in the mines. I literally just switched to because one of my party members almost threw himself into the river.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I literally just switched from there.
God, dude, the intro cutscenes for the Gold Saucer is
going to be a lot, I'm sure.
So good. I didn't think Kate Sith was going to be fun.
I did. I saw what he was doing in the trailer. There was some shenanigans.
He's not really fun in the original game, so
this is true.
He does a lot of damage. he does a lot of damage. Or he has the potential to do a lot of damage. Because a lot of his stuff is like, I guess, chance based. Because he's got like a roll the dice thing. He's got like a fortune teller thing that, like, I think has more often not chance to crit. And crit for a lot.
I mean, that's in keeping with the character. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's pretty fun. They gave my girl Aerith some lasers, which is a lot of damage.
I can't believe they gave Aerith a gun.
They pretty much gave her a gun, yeah.
Holy shit. My Aerith wants to basic attack all of the time, and that's not how I have her built. I have her built very similarly to 7. Arcane Ward into a magnified spellcast. I don't have Magnify yet, but same premise, right? Like that's what I'm going to want.
Wait, you don't have Magnify?
I don't think I have a Magnify on me. No. I might have missed it. But yeah, like that's her gameplay for me, and she's very effective at it. Yeah. Suddenly I got this skill and was like, oh, they gave her a cat.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, set Aerith to lead, basic attack, build that charge. I haven't used Tempest in a couple of fights because I don't care about the ATB gauge. I just want to see my Aerith beat people to death with laser beams.
Yeah. Did you start that Johnny side quest, by the way?
I started it, but I've been blocked by water.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think was going to be an issue right up until I got onto my bird, and they said, "Yeah, no, you're being blocked." And I looked at what I was being blocked by, and just I thought about it for a second, and went, "Oh, this is some video game BS. I could get through that." But fair enough.
Yeah. Because that whole section of the whole desert area, you need you don't need it, but you need the buggy to go through the water. I fought that thing he wants you to fight, by the way.
That's
That
gonna be
thing's
real.
scary. That thing's scary.
They
I beat
always
it.
are.
I beat it. But that thing's... You have to play very way back.
Oh.
My
I
cloud...
wonder if I do. I think I have a cheesy thing going with my Yuffie right now, but we'll see.
I mean, I never really went in on him, like very close. Only at certain points. I always like just dodged around and used like Cloud's like air slashes. And I had Aerith and Kate Sith in my party at the time as well. Oh, he does some bullshit. He does some bullshit. Yeah, he just does some. You might have to fight him a couple of times. I said fuck it. I didn't care about Johnny's like quest line that much or whatever. Because there's 2 different versions of that item you can get from the monster. And it might require you to do it a couple of times to get the better version of the item.
I mean, look,
But
I'm down for.
But it's Johnny. He doesn't need a
engaging.
better version. So I was just like, yeah, whatever, man. Did you attempt the crunches?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Like, when I first saw that there was something that was going to bar my way from getting a comfortable platinum, anything that's going to cause me stress, I'm just not going to bother with.
Well, Tara did it pretty. I wouldn't say effortlessly because she did message me saying "fuck you, Jules."
Yeah.
After she had
I have
gotten
no
it.
interest in that. I don't like the mashing. I don't like the half presses. No, I'm good. I'm all right. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go back to it at probably some point in time and like do it because I've gotten really close. It's just, brain to fingers just doesn't work sometimes. God, what else? Dio's great. Dio's amazing. I now understand where Godbert is now is based off of.
Yes.
I now understand. Cause Dio is actually like Godbert is actually just Dio.
You thought he was a Mandeville, but really, it was him, Dio, the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. If you I told you I knew a cheese for the 3D brawler. So if you end up ever actually needing that, but you say you have good reflexes, so I probably not.
I have surprisingly good reflexes. It's what got me. It's the only thing that's got me through the piano, because I don't like that, and I'm not a big fan of rhythm games. But I've gotten through all of the piano stuff thus far, and I got through the parade pretty easily. I love the parade. Oh my goodness, I like that so much. The seventh are all my homies, and I will go to bat for them.
I was so mad. I didn't want to redo the parade over again after seeing like, because you need 100,000 in like the Everybody Loves You or whatever portion of the Shinra News Network thing, where it's like, oh, this amount of likes or whatever. So you need like 100,000 to win the performance thing. So I got like 99,000. I was so close. I missed, I guess, one too many buttons.
Once you know what to look for, and I happen to catch it pretty early. You can get the timings down. It's just, do you remember to mash or hold? So
yeah, it wasn't like the timings. It's just like sometimes the the camera angles are very deceptive on purpose. So it takes a lot for me to like parse immediately. But yeah, I mean, anything more than that, I'd feel like we'd be going into like I guess spoiler territory. Just only talking about things that were I guess were in the original 7.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because let me tell you, fuck the parade in the original 7. I've never been good at that shit.
I mean, I've gotten it in that one.
I've literally never been so bad as to get the grenade, but it's always like a super mediocre performance on my end. I'm all right.
I do like how they are, with the thing that you see in the reactor. I do like how they are implementing that more into the story.
It's smart play, frankly.
Yeah, because that's technically supposed to be like very hard hitting like story stuff, but in the original game it was just relegated to like you could do this if you want, or like you could learn about these if you want, or something like that. There's because only one of them are like are actually like very story prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know it's a lot of vague talking, but this is a very good video game, and
it is very good. Yes,
I guess I still have 45 hours left, or like 40 hours left in this game, considering how long it takes me. I've 100%ed every area I've been in. I'm almost about to complete the desert region, or like the Corral region. So I just need to do some of the side quests and the proto relic of that area. Fuck Fort Condor, by the way.
It's the worst.
Fuck Fort Condor.
Oh, is it still bad?
No. So it was okay.
No,
it was
actually,
not. It was
but...
yeah. It's actually really good. Yeah.
Okay.
It was fine. It was fine in the Yuffie DLC. Like they made sense. You were able to edit a bunch of stuff. In the Yuffie DLC. In what we've had access to in Rebirth is you need to just know what to do, because you do not get to edit your player pieces outside of
okay. Just
outside
like the first one, really.
Yeah, there's a bunch of presets, and you can edit the heroes that are in it. You can like choose what heroes you want or whatever. But outside of that, you cannot customize anything. The very final one you do for the proto relic in the Junin area sucks so much. It is absolutely horrible. You straight up have to give up any type of strat that you were thinking and just
Zerg rush him.
Just Zerg rush one side.
Like, you do have to understand the basics. You do have to send the correct type of enemy, but you just Zerg him straight down. Because if there's any steam that gets going on the other side, you hard reset. You're not going to do it. You're going to run out of time. The amount of times I did everything correctly and just ran out of time boggled my mind.
I also hate that they took out the if you have more towers than the enemy team when you run out of time, that you win. I'm like, I the first time that happened, I was like, all right, I've taken out like 2 of their towers. I have both of my towers left. The time runs out. I should win. And then it said failed, and I was like, what? I was like, I hate this so much.
I forgot that rule. I knew I was doomed if I didn't kill them, so I was like,
No, in the Yuffie DLC, you could win just by having more towers. You didn't have to actually kill the main tower.
Oh, I platinum base game. I didn't actually platinum integrate, so fair enough. I didn't know. Yeah. I also
I didn't platinum integrate
that
either.
close to. I never came that close to losing or to drawing in the couple of Fort Condor rounds I did.
Pretty much the strat for that one is Zerg rush one side, use the red enemies, or like the what is it, the DPS ones with healers, and then when you have enough of that, you just drop Tifa down and have her and a bunch of people destroy like the main pillar, who is a character that we all know, and that
damn you, Warlock.
Yeah, damn you, Warlock. Yeah, Warlock. I can't wait to beat his ass at the end of this quest line. I can't wait to beat his ass.
We better.
Well, I mean, we have to. There's no way.
Like,
There's
we
no way that
literally
we
have
don't.
to.
Yeah, there's no way that we don't. Yeah. Leak, what did you do?
Same old actually. Monster Hunter and GTA RP. What else I do? What else I do? They just work.
It is interesting every time I peek on my friends list. You are actually in Monster Hunter. I like the grind. I appreciate
Yeah. And I've been helping like friends catch up and stuff as well.
Let's go.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's it. Lethal Company I did play last week.
How goes your King of the Ring situation in GTA? I was told you were in a
the Rumble.
the Royal Rumble. That's what.
Yeah. Well, I didn't win, obviously.
Yeah, you probably would have remembered. Yeah.
It was interesting though, because they had like a few rounds, and they only picked out the last man standing for each round, but let everyone continue, so you weren't just like one and done, which is good. Yeah, it was fun. Like we had to go into first person mode and stuff. That was weird.
Immediately hate that.
Yeah, it's very bizarre trying to like find people, like, or they could start punching you and you couldn't see them because they're behind you. It was a lot of fun though.
So you haven't started up your biker gang yet?
Soon.
No, not yet.
No biker gang? No, okay.
Not yet. I think my character might be joining one soon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know when they're adding in bikes? Or are they already adding bikes?
Not yet. Yeah, no, it was like I was having a chat about that yesterday actually. No, they were putting out information like a month ago, but are yet to actually release them in game. So we'll see. There is not just me waiting for it. There's so many people waiting.
Oh, I bet. Frankly,
bikes were one of the best things in GTA.
Yeah.
Frankly, if for no other reason than just efficiency, they're the most efficient. They're one of the most efficient means of transport.
Yeah. I mean,
but also cool biker gangs.
Yes, cool biker gangs. No, I think it's because on the dev side, because it's their own server and stuff, they have their own mechanics and whatnot. So I think they're just reprogramming a lot of things to work with their mechanics. I'm assuming. That's what it is.
That's fair.
All right. Well,
wait, no, hold on. Important question.
Wait.
What?
How goes Stardew Valley?
It's not even. No, there's no update yet.
Oh,
I would be yelling about it.
One.
Was there?
I must have misread something. Never mind.
Wait, no. I haven't seen anything. Let me check.
She's like,
I saw other people playing. I saw other people who, the variety people playing Stardew. I was like, oh, the update must have come out.
Oh, I go. Okay, that's why the release date has been announced for it.
It's not they were probably just getting hyped. Okay.
Yeah, it's hyped. Okay, that would explain that. Yeah, no, it's March 19th. This is this month.
Oh, it's close.
Hey.
Oh my. Oh my.
Very, very close. Hooray! That's close enough to
like, my drugs.
It is. I need it so soon. It's like how many 2 weeks?
2 weeks about, yeah.
Yes.
But wait. There's
more.
That's right around Dragon's Dogma time, Leak.
Oh fuck. I didn't even start playing Dark Arisen yet. Shit. Oh no.
TikTok.
To be fair though, I think Stardew Valley with TikTok priority.
I'm not surprised to hear this.
Yeah, not surprised. Not surprised at all.
I have a problem.
Anyway, yeah. Well, we all have problems. I have so many games I haven't completed, so and it just keeps getting longer. Yeah. We have some news this week. Some good news. some bad news. First, we're going to start off with some bad news, because that's what we like here. We love bad news here, don't we, guys?
I mean, it's the only news we're getting, it seems.
Blech.
Yeah. So, like literally the day after, we recorded, EA decided to lay off 670 employees. Good job, EA.
Sure did.
And then said that they were sunsetting some games and moving away from development of future licensed IP, i.e. Star Wars, because they are not continuing their shtick with Disney and Star Wars. So, yeah. I feel bad for the EA employees that are no longer EA employees anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy. I would like to think that layoffs would stop happening soon, right? Yeah, for the rest of the year.
That's
after April, like
crossed.
when we hit April, hopefully,
Yeah.
layoffs will slow down until we hit Christmas season, because we all know that's when they're gonna start doing more layoffs, because
Yeah.
people, like, companies don't care about holidays or about people's
I will say, putting this out there for now, I do not suspect next year will be as bad as this and the previous year. I think this is the big purge, which is unfortunate, but
yeah. Like it was what I was saying the other day or whatever. It's 100% because during COVID, all these tech corporations hired a bunch of people, and now they're seeing, they hired a bunch of people because they were getting a lot of business. Their profits were going up, so they kept hiring people. And now when we're out of COVID and the big tech industry isn't as thriving as it was during COVID times, they're seeing a very large percentage in their profit margins from 2020, 2021 into this year, into like last year and then this year. That they're like, oh, we need to axe all these people because we can afford all of these, but to our investors, it's we still need more percentages.
The industry is in a weird spot. It's true of most industries. Anything to do with investors, if you're not making more money than last year,
yeah,
you are failing. Which is,
to be fair,
fucking wrong.
But,
it's just not right.
And to be fair, corporations are there to make money. They're not there to ensure that you have a job. So, we all definitely saw this coming. It's just unfortunate. And hopefully a lot of the people that like see the stuff going on in the industry starts having, like, they end up maybe having more backup plans when it comes to this. Like the employees, that is, because obviously if you're sitting in like in like these game developer studios and stuff like that, and like these big corporations, and you're seeing all these layoffs going around, I would assume at some point in time, a lot of the people that think they might be safe probably tries to keep something lined up just in case, because they could be next. But then there are people that are sitting here like probably like, oh, it's probably not going to be me, and then might get fucked over. So who knows? It's unfortunate, but I do suspect that this year, I don't think like once we hit April it's going to stop. I do suspect it'll continue on throughout the year, but I feel like this year might be the last of it. And we might see like layoffs here and there going into next year. But I don't think it'll be as like almost hitting 10,000 in the first 2 months of a year.
It's kind of a softball prediction, because I mean at this point, shy of studio closures, who else do you have left to get rid of, right? So
yeah,
I think we've covered literally all of the major companies and a plethora of like,
yeah.
I don't want to say second stringers, but like indies or not quite as like high ranking AAA. So like literally, this is the easiest softball prediction, but it's just because we ran out of people to let go.
No, so, and this is actually specifically only the Western scene or whatever that we talk about, because they have the ability to actually lay off and fire people or whatever. You don't see this happening much in Japan because Japan has a lot of actual labor like enforcement laws or whatever that stop companies from actually firing people.
And traditionally as well. No, they can still just fire people, but
well,
they don't.
I mean, like laying off.
Listen. Yeah, they don't typically because of the work culture there. Job usually and traditionally was for life, and they don't typically just fire people. They kind of put them in different departments and stuff.
Yeah.
It's more like passive aggressive firing, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what typically.
We are going to forget about you. You will make no further you will not move any further up the chain, so either you're going to be content with this or you will leave.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen a Gretzko, right? That's actually quite a good example of what happens.
Because like even when what was it, the studio that made the Luminous production studio, they didn't lay off that staff. They just moved them over
into the home. Yeah,
they put them back into the home.
Yeah,
they either found further use for them, or like Leek said, they've shuffled them off into a corner to be where they are until they die. Like, and I genuinely mean that, because people stay in their industry forever, it seems.
Yeah. I mean, these days people are more likely to just go work for someone else.
Yeah.
You know, especially in more modern industries like the game industry.
Sure. And it should be noted that as a general principle, with every tech expert that I've spoken to, hell, even in my industry, to be fair, the idea is you stay in a place for 2 years, and then you start getting your stuff together to be either let go or find a job, because you now have accrued enough information that you are more valuable, and you really should be trying to find a job befitting of that.
Yeah.
Yep. But on the good side of this, all right, we got word that Toys for Bob is becoming an indie company.
I do love this.
Yeah, that is so good. And so just
I thought they were just dead. Yeah.
They were like, Activision, we don't want to be a part anymore. And Activision, it's probably had more to do with Microsoft. Microsoft and Activision was like, yeah, we'll still partner up with you for for the stuff or whatever, but you can actually keep your studio and everything.
Yeah,
but I'm confused because I don't think they did keep the studio, because if you recall, the Nevada location and
I don't mean the location. I meant the name. The name.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm glad they were able to keep their name, because
realistically they didn't have to be given that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
Yeah, because like the folks that, for example, in direct experience, like I used to work for Newcastle Midway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when Warner Brothers, they took over and shut down the studio, they couldn't keep the name, obviously, but the dev team did like band together and start their own thing. There was like Tomahawk. That's now a big outsourcing concept art and etc. studio that started from a lot of people that used to work at that location. And they moved to like Newcastle proper and stuff, Gateshead.
Goodness, that's LA Rush.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of the Guildford people too, after Bright Light Studios and stuff were shut down by EA, they banded together and made their own companies, or shuffled around.
Don't worry, we'll be
So it's
talking
nice
about
to see
WB
this.
in
I
a
mean,
little bit.
and frankly, just for Toys for Bob anyway. I mean, I grew up
Yeah.
with Spyro and Crash, so it's nice
Yeah,
to see that this company is no longer going to be, if I understand correctly, forced to work on updates for Warzone.
Yeah,
Goodness
no.
gracious.
Yeah.
Especially using the bloody company name too, because
Yeah.
they could have easily just said it no longer belongs to you.
Like, yeah, technically we bought you out. This is ours. Have a good day. If anything, I suspect this will instill some amount of amicability between Toys for Bob and Microsoft. And there was probably a bit of, hey, the next thing you make, we do want, at very least, multi-platform, if not exclusive rights. That's just a guess on my end, though. Because as has been said multiple times, yeah, I'm stunned they got to keep their name.
Yeah, I'm very stunned that they got to keep their name, but I don't know, maybe Phil Spencer was like, yeah, whatever, go ahead. But I mean, they said that they were like Microsoft and Activision were very supportive in this endeavor, so I'm happy.
I'm even more convinced that there is I'm even now more convinced that there is a plan to have
a deal already.
Yeah, the next couple games come out with exclusivity of some sort.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, or at least timed exclusivity.
Yeah, not permanent. I don't imagine. Yeah. Microsoft as an entity seems to be moving away from that in general. They seem to understand that their distribution platform is just built for not that anymore.
Yeah. So, I'm the only one on this podcast that has played Helldivers 2. All right.
Correct.
Helldivers 2 is a great game. And Ready Managed Democracy is a thing every citizen should do for Super Earth.
Yeah, it looks really fun.
That being said, some people on Steam have taken it to their to what they just decided to change the games that they had already put up to say that they were Helldivers 2 to get people to buy it at a discounted price, even though they weren't actually buying Helldivers 2.
Yeah, sneaky. Terrible.
I mean, yeah, that's like, it is the worst. I wonder what Steam's actual reaction to this, because that's a bad look for Steam, more than even the scummy people doing this, because they know that they're trying to scam people. Steam letting this up is further showing that their moderation tools are still pretty lackluster. They're still not great.
Seriously, and like just not pinging when someone's like in usernames and stuff, you can't use the same username. Why can't that be the case with game titles? It's so bizarre.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. It's not like new games coming up and their name being Helldivers 2, because that actually has a stringent system to actually get put up onto Steam or whatever. It's specifically games that were already up that they have the ability just to edit.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That the editing just lets them do it.
It's like Wikipedia editing. Anybody can do it. So be on the lookout if you see anything that says that Helldivers 2 is anywhere under $39.99. We go ahead and tell you, they're probably not going to discount Helldivers 2 on Steam specifically because it is $40, and that is a hell of a deal.
Price.
Yeah.
Check their official social media before you even think about going to those pages, because they've already come out on social media and say, no, that's not us. Don't don't do that. Yeah.
So Baldur's Gate 3 is going to have a physical edition on Xbox. It is 4 discs long.
Happening. It's happening a lot.
It's on 4 discs. That is hilarious. As me and Dalek coming off playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is on 2 discs. Let me go ahead and tell you, the way 7 Rebirth works on 2 discs is one's an install that installs 40 gigs that allows you to start the application, and the other game is the one. The other disc is the one that actually has the game on it. That's a little disappointing to hear, because I would have actually liked to have had the experience of getting to a point in the game and then being like, insert disc 2 or whatever, because that's nostalgic as hell. Baldur's Gate 3, on the other hand, probably will have that. I don't know. I don't know when the physical release actually comes out, but since it's 3 acts and there's 4 discs, and a leak was theorizing it's probably the first disc is install, and then you swap discs depending on the act that you're going into from disc 2 to disc 4. I couldn't imagine you would need like 4 discs to install the game. It's a big game, but not that big. So they probably actually have most of the information on those discs. That's cool. I hope all these Xbox players will enjoy Baldur's Gate 3. I still haven't beaten Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm just happy for everyone who wanted a physical copy of this. Now they get that. And oh god, you're getting a lot of physical stuff, so hope you got room.
Reminds me back in the day when was it Final Fantasy 13 was like 4 discs. I think it was 3 discs actually. Or not 14, but Final Fantasy 13 was 3 discs on the Xbox. That was hilarious. And then like the PlayStation version of Final Fantasy 13 was only 1 disc, because the Xbox discs weren't like dual layered Blu-rays; they were just DVDs.
They hadn't made the leap.
Yeah. Persona series tops 22 million sales. So Atlas doing fine. Persona 3 Reload still being the best Persona in the game in the series. So
very good, very good.
Great. My favorite series, the Trail series, the new game is finally getting a Western release, and that is coming out July 5th. Trails Through Daybreak. I still don't agree with the name. I would have rather like Trails into Darkness or something like that, because Kuro actually means dark or black or darkness or something like that, not daybreak. But yeah, comes out the 5th of July. I will get it day 1. There's a deluxe edition that comes with like a plush of Vaughn or Agnes, which I will not get, because I have stated I will not get any more like editions of Trails games through NISA, because NISA takes forever to release their stuff. So, and I always have issues. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Lucilius update March 14th. Just learned that today, even though that information apparently came out like 6 days ago. So, hopefully this guy is a difficult fight, and I mean, I say that, but Proto Bahamut, even though you had it easy because we carried you through Proto Bahamut.
I mean, this is true, but I have since gone back even before I got beefed out of my mind, and I don't think Proto Bahamut is the problem. I still think Verse is the biggest problem in that game.
Well, no. Versa is a terribly designed fight. All right, that's what makes it a harder fight. If you didn't know the mechanics of Proto Bahamut, you didn't have like Me Terra Melody there.
I'm pretty sure that it's still easier to figure out than Versa.
There's nothing to figure out in Versa. It's just it's just dodge stuff.
I mean, Proto Bahamut is dodge stuff. And you just shoot the orbs.
Yeah, but not the first couple of days, nobody did that.
Oh, and I'm sure. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Proto Bahamut is a walk in the park on your first run through, but even still, it is in my opinion, easy enough to figure out.
Wait, yeah, okay.
Like, by virtue of being on the cipher, you know you're using the guns. So,
Yeah.
shoot the dragon. Oh no, there are orbs. Shoot the orbs. Oh no, he's on the ship. Hit the dragon. Stay out of the AoEs. Profit.
Yeah, but the other side
Gear
is
check
that
as well.
the other side is that nobody knew that right off the bat.
Sure.
It took Melody, Terra, and I like 3 hours to actually beat the fight. So, and like none of us had none of us had terminus weapons because we'd never beat the fight. So like it was still a gear check most of the time.
No, and I do agree. That's, to me, that's the hardest part about this fight.
Yeah, it's the DPS check.
Gear check and breakpoints, because I have still today got to the point where we push Proto Bahamut very awkwardly, and some parties still wipe during the final mechanic because we pushed it to 15 too soon, or we just blew all of our big super special attacks, and then we don't have anything for the final bit.
Yeah,
But more often than not, we just kill it before any of that. Because
I've only had the
point,
suffering from success like once or twice, and I've never had it ever again. Most times I get into. Most of the times I get in there.
To this day, I still have people with full terminus weapons go in and just eat shit against Versa. I am convinced Versa is the harder fight.
It's not. I don't.
And I can solo Versa now, which is fucking hilarious to me. But I still think that's the fight that is like just out and out more complex. And yes, a lot of that comes because you have to do some very awkward distance estimations with not great indicators.
Yeah, I think if you could see a lot of the AoE, or like just honestly, the hardest one is the one where it does the cross thing and it goes around in it rotates. All right, that's the hardest one. All the other mechanics are just piss easy, actually. I think if the color wasn't purple on yellow, I think it would be a lot easier to see. Or I think it would be a lot easier to do. But I don't know. I just don't think it's harder because it's a harder fight. I just think it's harder because it's designed poorly. Just like with Galanza and Magliel, I don't think that fight is designed very well. It's just hard because
disagree. I don't think there's any issue with the design of that fight. I think, however, people do get bent out of shape for not being able to steamroll correctly, because Magliel will protect her man. And it's frustrating.
I think it might be overtuned, is what it is. Because that fight is far and away more damaging than most of the other fights in this game. I don't know. I don't know if it's design. I just don't. Or it's like, I don't know. I just feel like the fight is most of the multi-boss fights in the game or whatever just don't seem like they're I just don't think they're designed very well. I never think multi-boss fights are designed well, period. In most games. Maybe if the arena was bigger for Magliel and them, but I don't know. Anyway, Lucilius, March 14th. Hopefully we don't steamroll him.
Hopefully he doesn't come out and fall over immediately.
Oh, I know I won't steamroll him because the game won't give me War freaking Elemental. So I'll still be doing my
become what I told myself not to. Game was very kind to me. I got everything I needed just to be like optimal.
Fucking, I hate it. I don't know. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink sucks. Actually, it's a 0 out of 10 game. It's horrible. Side games, you go back to gacha. That's the only thing you're good at. So we all saw how well the Suicide Squad did, right? Kill the Justice League. That did amazing, right?
Oh yeah, so good.
They did amazing, right? That was like the best game to come out this year, right?
Oh
easy clap.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. So WB just wants to do more of that.
I genuinely don't know why this. So I have to assume this like fucking has nothing to do with what they said, because it's to the point that Sony's handing out refunds for it.
Yeah.
But everyone in the world still seems to think live services are the future, and personally, I genuinely don't know why they think this. With the amount of live service games in the world active right now, how do you think you're going to have a player base? Who is going to play your game? And on top of that, with your last couple games showing that they weren't great, why aren't you just playing small ball for a bit as you recoup your losses? No, you want to jump into the deep end again after almost drowning the first time. I don't get it. Like, I did a whole podcast about why I think live services literally cannot be the future. I don't know why it's still being pushed this hard.
Anyway, Helldivers live service.
This is true.
And it's doing extremely well.
Yeah,
that's
they
because
will
it's
short term. It's also $40.
Yeah. And the monetization is very sane.
And to be honest, yeah, the monetization is so good for the consumer that no investor would ever be happy with that.
Yeah. And the battle pass doesn't expire. So,
as it bloody well should be.
Anyway, WB sees its future game strategy to involve more live service, mobile, and free-to-play games. A quote from WB Games CEO JB Perret, rather than just launching a one-and-done console game, how do we develop a game around, for example, a Hogwarts Legacy or Harry Potter that is a live service where people can live and work and build, play in that world in an ongoing basis? That was just a quote out of a big article on GameSpot. Yeah. I like how they give an example of a franchise they would use to make a live service, when just last year that franchise's game was the most selling game of that year, and it was a one and done video game. The Hogwarts Legacy was the most sold video game last year.
Yeah.
And they're like,
more importantly, and this is a big important addition to that. It was the game that sold the most in a year that had a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
To be fair, that
doesn't happen.
Shit. Call of Duty is bad.
This is absolutely true. But Call of Duty, even on its worst years, sells buku numbers, right?
Yeah.
So it is still nuts, even if this particular Call of Duty lived up to the name. Get it? Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Because I'm a mature adult.
Yeah.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, to your point, you're absolutely correct.
I just like how and Mythic Talent on this tweet said the same thing. Suicide Squad failed, and the first thought from WB was more live service games. And it's just a picture of Luffy looking down at a phone with his like with the face of disgust. I just don't understand. And I know Max quote retweeted saying he feels for NetherRealm Studios or whatever because he's just hoping that that Mortal Kombat 1 does well over like the next year.
I don't feel for NetherRealm. NetherRealm consistently makes the same game year over year. Great story, like super high quality, lots of effort into it. But no, like they've been pretty much trying to move forward to the live service thing anyway. I don't give a shit. Also, they should have made a better game. I don't know that Mortal Kombat 1 is going to save that franchise. It's fine, but they need better than fine.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I guess with all things in business practices, as long as it's not predatory, it tends to do okay. Like, you know, with live service, as we see with Helldiver 2, they aren't predatory practices in what they serve, and big publishers they don't tend to not doing predatory practices.
No. Well,
because it's money.
Correct.
Eat the rich.
Just
eat
correct.
the rich. Eat the rich. Eat them. Just devour them. Turn into cannibals. I just like. I don't even know how like the PR for these companies sit here and think, yes, this is a very smart thing to say. This is like, it's one thing to do it. It's one thing to like go forward with that plan. All right, that's fine or whatever. It's another thing to just state it like an idiot.
Yeah, saying this out loud. Well, I'm assuming this comes from a investor call.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine they're so stupid as to like brag about wanting to follow up Suicide Squad. But like, yeah, this is just riddled with buzzwords. Like we want free to play, mobile,
boom,
live service game, and we're gonna make all the money. You know what I want, WB? I want shorter games with worse graphics made by people who are paid more to work less. How about that?
Yeah. I want Peggle too.
Oh, you know, unironically, kinda a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm the kind of guy I enjoy match 3s. I give me a Bejeweled. Like, give me like a high quality Bejeweled. Oh yeah. That'll be my brain off like 10 minutes before bed puzzle fix. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like games have just kind of reached a level of scope that can't be done. And
yeah, it is frustrating.
It's ridiculous that they're pushed to do this. And
they have to make money after they're released. Like not just from direct sales. Yeah.
What if you made smaller games and sold twice as many? You get the same amount. And honestly, what if you did all this for games that you didn't have to support for 10 years? Like, I recognize that means every game, every year has to be made from the ground up. But, and hear me out, what if people bought them? Because let me tell you what I've done too much of these last 2 years. Bought new games. I've not been playing very many live services.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have to also maintain servers and stuff, and that costs money too.
Yeah, my assumption on this has always been it's probably worth it just to run the servers, because that's a smaller grouping of people. Reusing a bunch of assets for 10 years is still going to be cheaper than having to make any new ones and so on. Like, I get the logic. I just don't think it actually works. I don't think it actually works in practice. Like, I will always go back to this forever and for always, because for as much as I dunk on this game, it's still mostly successful. Destiny was a big 10-year project that fell apart in like 5 years. It literally had a half-life. before they decided they had to make a Destiny 2, and I'm not sure they're going to stick the landing now.
I mean, it almost fell apart within the first couple of years because the beginning of Destiny 1 was just actually horrible. I still don't know why they had to make a Destiny 2. They picked it back up. They legitimately got better in Destiny 1.
We are literally at the 10-year mark, and they're ending the second game.
Yeah.
So, like, the overarching idea of what a live service is meant to be is this grand 10-year journey. I'm always going to use that because that is what Bungie said and what people all over the industry cheered for. Realistically, games peter out after about 3 years unless you're an MMO. Like, every gacha game I see gets about 3 years in, and then it just falls right apart. Every what's a long-term live service that isn't just an MMO? I genuinely can't think of one. I'm sure it exists. I just can't think of it. MMOs are the only ones
still
immune
existing.
to this.
That it still exists.
That went longer than 4 or 5 years, or hell, that went longer than like 3 years.
I think Outriders still exists. Surprisingly enough,
does it?
Wow. I think it does. I don't recall them ever shutting down the servers for Outriders.
Huh. Well, even then, that game's still only what, 2 years old?
I don't know. I can't remember the year it came out.
I don't truly long-term games don't exist. If I were to make a quote-unquote live service, my end goal would be
3 years.
No, my end goal would be a year and a half. Like, I think the team that has it down the absolute best is Capcom. Monster Hunter is the best idea.
And Monster, and they're not even considered live service.
And they're not. But like that's going to be peak of what it is. You have what?
That structure is the best structure.
Yeah, you have 1 year, maybe a year and a half of your base game. You sell an expansion. You have another year, maybe a year and a half of that. You get 3 years out of what, a project and a half.
Yeah,
and then you move on to the next one, and it sells well. It has a giant player base that's only growing and good PR. Granted, if they were to take this approach, we just see a bunch of Monster Hunter likes come up with the worst monetization in the world, I'm sure.
True. I have a Queen's Blood image to show you, Dalit.
I already don't like this.
Apparently that's Terra Melody's deck and what it can do.
There's only one card I don't understand, and the number next to it is gross.
Yeah. That's a big old number.
The rest of those cards make a lot of sense to me. That number, I don't know how it happened, but that's wrong.
To be fair, I think those cactuars are
those are not cactuars. Those are okay. Yeah,
those are specific for this event or whatever, for like the luxury real estate or whatever. You get those cards specifically for doing that.
Estate.
Yeah, it's for it's in the Gold Saucer. It's one of the
interesting.
One of the pre-mades that you have to work with.
Oh, since we're in a mood about bitching before we get to the final bit of news, Squeenix, baby, listen, hear me out.
Quit.
Stop. You didn't need a card game. Every game doesn't need a card. RPG games in a nutshell. Come here, listen. I don't need another card game. I don't need more fishing. I want to interact with your system on a systems level. Give me more fighty fights. Give me more cutscenes. I don't want to play cards. I don't want to fish. I would have bought, I don't know, big outback bass fishing bass fishing if I wanted to fish, and I'd play like a poker game if I wanted to play cards. Desist.
I've come around on Queen's Blood. I actually kind of like it.
No, I'm even good at it, but fuck that game. I'm so tired of it.
Fort Condor is the only one that has actually made me like really, really mad. I mean, the Crunches mini game also made me super mad, but that's because I have old man hands.
Like, God, yeah, that's the other thing is, stop. I don't want to. Why do I have to do 51 to get through that? I don't want to do that.
54.
Oh, no, you're getting screwed over by RNG.
Wait, no, for the Crunches?
For the Crunches, I just need to do 51. He's never gotten above 49 or 50.
Well, no. Okay, so no, if you're perfect and you don't, you don't miss one, the highest you can get is like 54.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't,
Jules will either get 50 or 51.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, because like I said, Tara did it. She beat it at 54, and he had 50. So, all right, our last bit of news.
Hold on to your butts.
I'm doing the SpongeBob thing where I'm like, Nintendo. Why? I know why, but you didn't have to. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't actually hurting your bottom line. I know it wasn't, because if you're only getting $2.3 million out of the settlement with Yuzu, it wasn't hurting you at all. You spit and it's $2.3 million. All right, that's. I understand that Yuzu was definitely in the wrong, but you didn't have to go at them so hard. All right, you could have just cease and desisted them, and they would have probably of obliged. So anyway, as we were talking about last week with Nintendo suing Yuzu, all right, Yuzu settled smartly because one, if they would have went to court and lost, it would have set a super bad precedent for emulation.
Yeah, it would affect lots of other things over there.
Two, as much as I like emulation, Yuzu probably definitely deserved to be shut down. They went on for too long, and they did technically facilitate piracy to an extent. And piracy is illegal no matter where you are. So I understand, all right, and I know Nintendo definitely had the legal right to do this, but I don't think they needed to. People were still buying Nintendo games, even if they were pirating it. I guarantee you most of the people that pirated Tears of the Kingdom also bought a copy.
So here's the thing about piracy in games. And it's to an extent true in music as well. I don't know about any other medium.
Mm-hmm.
If they pirated your stuff, they were never going to buy it to begin with. You did not lose money because it's not physical. You certainly didn't lose money because you didn't lose a product.
Yeah.
Morally, however, yeah, it's wrong and all that, and
yeah.
But I don't know. Like, what we lost, I don't think is worth what was gained from it. Like, Nintendo feeling better, I don't think saves this. And if this were any other company, I might actually err more on the side of the company.
Yeah.
Because a lot of other companies do in fact attempt to give you a way to play their library of games. Nintendo is one of the companies that is notorious for once they phased out a console, that's it. You're done until maybe in 20 years they let you emulate it on their new thing, maybe. But yeah, I'm not actually too broken up about Yuzu itself getting kicked.
Yeah.
The Switch is a current day product, and whilst getting ahead on having an emulator is good for sure, there's still time. The one that I'm actually kind of broken up about is the fact that they squashed Citra.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo has no interest in anything DS related right now.
Yeah.
So that's not great. And they definitely weren't losing anything on DS sales, because I don't think anything DS or 3DS out in the world now they even get paid for, unless no, because Nintendo doesn't sell anything. So
yeah, they don't even make new cartridges anymore. So
genuinely, this was like, what this was spite. And I will be the first to admit, I did not think they were going to win this, and I did not think they were going to have enough dirt on Yuzu to get them to fold like a lawn chair. However, after doing a bit of reading, the Yuzu devs were kind of dumb, and they set themselves up for failure a couple of different times along the way. Now, a lot of my reading comes from circumstantial stuff that I won't get into, because it's very likely it's not correct. But needless to say, enough has been put out there now that we know that they had something out there that they were clearly going to get clapped for.
Yeah.
So it falls to the team at Ryujinx to do this correctly and not be sketchy about it, if we want any Switch emulation for the future. But in general, I'm just not pleased with Nintendo doing this. Whilst legally not an overreach, kind of morally is one. It's just more anti-consumer stuff.
Yeah, I think Ryujinx is fine, because I think the one thing that really dinged Yuzu was that they had a Patreon. And that they did lock firmware, like, or early access firmware updates to that Patreon. I think Ryujinx specifically just puts like firmware updates after the update's out and everything. And they don't actually try to facilitate people trying to get games super early.
I have no idea. Yeah, this is genuinely all a little outside of the scope of my knowledge. And it's probably dangerous to talk about too in the current climate.
Yeah, I think Ryujinx is going to be fine, because if they publicly went after Yuzu, I think they probably would have attached a thing to Ryujinx at the same time, just to get it all done in one go. I just feel like I think the Patreon is what actually dinged Yuzu hardest on.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree.
That being said, both Citra and Yuzu were open source. They were on the internet, so if you do any bit of digging, you can get the latest updates to like the update that they had before they shut down to both Yuzu and Citra. You can Citra, I don't think had any updates anyway, because nothing new's coming out for the DS. So but Yuzu in general, I mean, there are places on the internet you can grab those. So once something's on the internet, it doesn't go away. Yeah. I don't think this was like a step back for emulation. I think Gaben said it the best when it comes to piracy. If piracy is a problem, it's a problem with the people with the fuck, what did he say? It's not a consumer issue, it's the distributor issue. If there's a reason for people to pirate,
yeah,
that's what Gaben said.
Did say it was a service problem, not a
it was a service problem, not a consumer problem.
Yeah.
So, I have a bit of a one-sided thing when it comes to Nintendo piracy. Um, I don't care if you do it. I honestly, I sometimes usually think it's morally like good to do it because Nintendo's just that shit of a company. But I've hated Nintendo for years. So, the Nintendo's done one good thing over the past 15 years, in my opinion, and that's give Monolith Soft a venue to make games on, and to not interrupt them to in making games. So, because they're literally the only Nintendo developer that I think is actually worth any salt. So I don't know. Sucks for Yuzu. I don't think they'll actually have to pay the 2.3 million. I think they'll just, since they were LLC, they'll just file for bankruptcy.
Which was the main goal anyway. Nintendo wasn't actually after the money.
Yeah. Yeah. But when, as you know, one titan of the emulator industry falls, another titan will rise up. Because emulation is a thing that will keep going on, because that is one of the best ways to preserve video games over the years when companies don't want to preserve them themselves. So,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually all I really have to say about it. I just find it funny that you never see Xbox, like Microsoft or Sony, like go outright like trying to destroy the emulators for both for both PlayStation and Xbox.
Hold on.
But
now.
Nintendo.
Tell that to the Bleem emulator. So Sony tried it once and it was super successful.
Yeah, but there are a lot of other, like, you know, the PS2 emulator, the PS3 emulator right now.
Oh, sure. For whatever reason, they don't do it anymore. But back for the PS1, oh boy, did they.
Oh, yeah, and they, and
like
I said,
hold on. Was that a PlayStation emulator? Yeah, it was a PlayStation emulator. Never mind.
Yeah. And they went after GeoHots for jailbreaking the PlayStation 3 when it came out. But
that's true. Yeah.
But they went after GeoHots because he was distributing the jailbreak. Not because he jailbroke it, because he distributed it to other people. And
the Bleem one was a copyright thing, though. So
yeah, and the jailbreak allowed you to pirate games as well. So on the PS3, so that was the main reason. But like there's a really good Xbox 360 emulator out that I don't see Microsoft's kind of based like that, and I don't think they actually really care. And Sony hasn't done anything to like their PS2 or PS3 emulators as of yet. Even with the PSP emulator, hell, even the only way Sony was able to even combat the piracy issue on the PSP was to keep making different PSPs, and even that didn't work. Because the PSP had a huge piracy issue, just because of how easy it was to break
that one was pretty aggressive, and it's probably the real reason that the PSP was such a flop. Like that is one time that I think piracy genuinely killed a product.
I think I don't think the PSP was a flop. I think because the PSP lasted for a while.
I shouldn't say
they were still making video games for the PSP for a while.
It's the reason why it stopped being supported after a time. I don't think that ran its full natural course. I think they saw the piracy, because I like I said, I genuinely do think piracy actually did kill the PSP. I think that was figured out too quickly, and people just didn't see it as a real valuable console. Like people didn't put the same like thought into it as like a pirating on like a PS3 or something.
Yeah.
So like everyone was doing it. I had a school full of kids that absolutely were doing it. So.
Oh yeah, I did. I hacked my PSP, and like I bought games on my PSP, 2 games specifically, Birth by Sleep and War of the Lions. But I also cracked it and imported the JP version of Birth by Sleep. I also had the JP version of Dissidia. So yeah. Yeah, it sucks for Yuzu, but I mean, like I said, there'll be another emulator that comes up, and probably sometime after the like the Switch 2 comes out. So, if the Switch 2 ever comes out, looking at you, Nintendo, you ever going to release anything? You even going to talk about it? Anyway, that's our news.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
We did it.
That is our news.
It was a lot of really bad news.
I mean, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. But 4 of our points were technically bad news. So that sucks. But here's to this week. Maybe we'll have better news this week. Right, guys? Is that what we're hoping for?
Yeah, 100%. It's guaranteed to be nothing but good news. Just straight bangers. And like they're gonna bring the heat. We're done with bad news.
Yeah.
Time for the good stuff.
Next 7 days, nothing but good news. Nothing but good news. Anyway, do I need to ask Dalit?
No. Go straight to Leak.
Leak. What are you doing this week?
Same stuff. That's all I can say.
Oh man.
We have fallen into a pattern.
One of these days, Leak, you're gonna try something different. You're gonna load something. You're gonna load up something different this week. I'm calling it.
Let me tell you, in 14 days, we also won't need to ask her because she will be playing something quote unquote new.
Yeah.
New update, yes, for sure.
And then every week after that, she'll be like Stardew. You know, Stardew.
Yep.
It'd be like that. Look, it happens. It happens.
Yep.
I have my habits.
We are adults. We have work. We need some happiness in our lives.
Happiness is just a state of mind, man. It doesn't actually exist.
Cool. I'd like to stay in this state of mind as long as possible, thanks.
Yeah. Anyway, Dal and I are gonna play more 7 Rebirth because maybe we'll finish it by next week. I mean, we probably
wouldn't hold my breath. Wouldn't hold my breath. There's a whole.
I mean, we might finish the story.
I have a busy work week, and there's a whole lot in that game.
Oh, true. And you haven't even made it to Golden Saucer yet, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot in the saucer. Maybe I'll finish it by next week. Maybe. Hopefully. I'm halfway through, or over halfway, so. Anyway, made it this far. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you like hearing about gaming news and bad news and us complaining about the bad news, because that's all we get is bad news. So yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Be good now.
Bye.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely